I received a I received a great question from a client this week about trustees, and I thought this is something that a lot of families wonder about, so I wanted to answer it here for everyone. Hey there, I'm attorney Rilus Dana with Rilus Law. Before I get into the topic, I hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. So I was lucky enough to get out of town with my boys. We headed up to Flagstaff to hit the bike park. At 44 years old, I consider it a win anytime I finish a bike session in one piece. Total success. And if you've ever been to a bike park or signed your kids up for camp or school sport or sports, you probably had to fill out a waiver and release and list an emergency contact. That brings me to our next estate planning workshop. We're going to be covering powers of attorney and how it gives your emergency contact legal authority, not just a name on a form. This is a must-attend event for anyone, especially parents of kids who just turned 18, maybe headed off to college, if you're considering a power of attorney for them, or parents of younger children, if you're going to be traveling this summer and they may be away, maybe leaving your kids with a babysitter. So we're talking about special powers of attorney for that. Or if your children caring for your elderly parents, or anyone interested in learning about powers of attorney and gaining access to templates to download powers of attorney for free. It's happening June 5th, and you can join us live online or in person in Mesa, Arizona. Register now at riluslaw.com/events. All right, so now to the client's question. So here's the question. They said, I'm named as the trustee of my mom's trust. My brother, who lives out of state and is also a beneficiary, thinks we should name a third party to serve instead. He's worried it's a conflict. I think I can be fair, and I know what my mom wants. What are the pros and cons? So great questions. Let's walk through some things to think about when a beneficiary is also named as trustee. So first, I want to go over the fiduciary duty. As a trustee, your job is to follow the trust instructions and act in the best interest of all beneficiaries. Even if you're one of the beneficiaries, you're expected to separate personal interests from your fiduciary responsibilities. That means being impartial, responsible, and always putting the trust goals first. This setup where a child or beneficiary serves as a trustee is actually very common and totally legal. When a family member serves as trustee, they often do it for free or for a smaller fee. So this can save the trust and estate thousands of dollars. By contrast, professional fiduciaries or banks usually have an asset limit or a minimum annual fee starting at $10,000 or more. So if you're capable, trustworthy, and already familiar with the family's wishes, you may be a better option, especially if cost is a concern or if it's a smaller trust. Now, your brother makes a valid point. Sometimes naming a third-party trustee can reduce tension, especially in families with history or potential conflicts. But many banks and trust companies won't accept the role unless the trust has $5 million or more in assets, and those assets are under their management. So even if they're willing, their fees can cut deeply into the inheritance, and they're not always more efficient. So while third-party trustee can bring neutrality, it comes at a financial and practical cost. So bottom line, if you're organized, impartial, and committed to following the trust, you can be a great trustee, even if you're a beneficiary. Just be transparent, keep good records, and communicate with your beneficiaries. And ideally, talk things out now before any stress hits later. One last thing, if you found this helpful, don't miss our next estate planning workshop on powers of attorney, June 5th. You'll learn how to set up things properly so your emergency contact has the legal tools to step in when needed. You can attend online or in person in Mesa, Arizona. Sign up today at riluslaw.com/events. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the workshop.